Well, it looks like rates are going to continue to go up and up and up.
Going down.
If you've been watching my videos, you know that I've always been saying that rates could get to the double digits by the end of this year, and at a very minimum, it's going to at least get to the 7 to 8% range. And I know rates have been going roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster. But we are now hearing from the government that there's some issues here with inflation. And we just want to pre-warn you before everything explodes and goes out of control. Well, my name is Orlando and welcome to my channel, guys. Look, this is some good, great information that would allow you to understand exactly what's coming up in the future. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I've been saying that there is something going on. And what did I say? Let's just roll the footage. You can see right here, it got all the way up to about 7% at the peak of this graph here. And then it's going down, down, went up a little bit, down, and going up. So we have this roller coaster effect. So what does this mean? Well, this means that inflation is probably worse than we believe. So I can almost bet you that when the inflation numbers come out, since rates went up from 7 and they're continuing to go down and down and down, that means that the Fed did not increase rates far enough. That means that inflation is, when we get the numbers, it's still going to be bad. Now the government comes out and proves my exact point, my hunch, what I thought was happening in the market. At least for me, it's so easy to see. But, you know, hey, look, let's listen to exactly, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's listen exactly what the Biden administration, the government said about inflation.
So on Wednesday, we will have new CPI inflation data, and we expect the headline number, which includes gas and food, to be highly elevated, mainly because gas prices were so elevated in June. Gas and food prices continue to be heavily impacted by the war in Ukraine. And there are a few important points to keep in mind when we get this backwards looking data. First, June CPI data is already out of date because energy prices have come down.
Before we jump into this is some great information, but why are 85% of you guys not subscribed to this channel? What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It helps more people see this type of content. I really appreciate it, you guys, but let's jump right back into it. Okay, so right here, she is saying, right now, you guys, we want to prep you guys before we give you these crushing numbers that come out. Now remember, they have the numbers already. So they're telling you right now, hey, we just want to pre-warn you before the stock market and everybody reacts on these highly elevated inflation numbers. So we're going to, massage this for you guys and let you guys know, yes, hey, look, inflation numbers, hey, they're higher than usual, right? Even though the Fed increased rates to bring inflation down, it's still high and it's still going out of control. But, hey, don't worry about it. We have this all under control. Hey, this is backwards information because remember, guys, gas prices went down. We pushed down gas prices, so that means that, this is old data. This is old data. That is what the government message is. Now, how does this really affect the housing market? Well, the Fed is going to come in and they are going to again raise at a 0.75%. Do I even think that's enough? Not really. I think they should do 100 basis points to get that point across to bring down inflation. But the Fed, they're trying to time the market. They are trying to catch a falling knife. And we all know what happens when people try to time the market. You can't time the market. I can't time the market. And the government is no different. What's going to happen with their success of timing the market? A recession.
Substantially this month and are expected to fall further. The average retail price of gas was 11% higher in June than it was in May. And the cost of gas in July is already down 7% from the June peak. I have a chart here for you guys to see. The crude oil is the yellow, the crude oil is the blue at the bottom, and the retail gasoline price is at the top, and you can see the difference there.
Now, you see how this whole entire presentation was about gas prices, gas prices, gas. No one said anything about inflation when it comes to food, supplies, labor shortages, all of these things. No one said anything about it. All they're focusing on is gas prices, bringing gas prices down. So you're telling me bringing down gas prices is going to drop inflation back down to 4%, 3%, something around there? No, it's not. It's not, guys. We are going to get clobbered.
Got it!
With this interest rate hike, guys. And I'm telling you, 7%, 8%, possibly double digits by the end of the year, it's going to come. It's almost, in a sense, inevitable because of the fact that inflation is continuing to grow and grow and grow.
Get over it! Whoa!
And we have to get control of that. Now, once again, how does this affect the housing market? It's because you are going to still see a decrease in buying power, right? The more inflation grows, the more that the Fed is going to continue to increase the interest rates, which means your buying power will continue to be decreased. I am getting emails from individuals stating that, oh, I could have, at one point, I wanted to buy a home and I used myself, but now I have to use my wife because they need to prove her income and all this other stuff like that. So you're starting to see individuals go from having to get a co-signer to buy a home. And when you starting to see that, once again, that is because the buying power is being decreased. Now, what do we really think inflation is going to be? They're not really showing their hand on the number, but it is looking like it's going to be about 9%. Inflation rates were at 8.6, and now it is believed it will be at 9%. So let's see where CPI inflation rate may hit 9%. Dow Jones rally pauses. Now, this is the main reason why they wanted to get in front of this bad news, is so that the stock market and everybody else wouldn't react so negatively. Inflation may finally be past its peak, with gas prices pulling back since mid-June, but that won't show up in tomorrow's report. The CPI inflation rate is seen hitting 8.8 through Deutsche Bank economists are predicting 9%. Then hot inflation data will compel the Federal Reserve to keep aggressively tightening monetary policy and pressuring stocks. Once again, this number is going to continue to go up and up and up, and that means that the Federal Reserve, the Fed, will continue to push up interest rates by 0.75 or more, I hope. But more than likely, it's going to be 75 basis points or below that the Fed is going to do. I can't see the Fed going up to 100 basis points. They're just not that aggressive, guys. They're just not. Wall Street consensus calls for a 1.1% monthly rise in CPI, which would push the annual inflation rate above the 8.6 reported in May. The core CPI includes food, energy prices, expected to rise 0.5%. Once again, guys, the biggest thing that you could get from this is that the Fed is going to raise rates. They are going to continue raising rates as aggressively as 0.75 or 75 basis points every single time. And I think we have 3 more Fed increases, with 3 more Fed increases, one being at 75 basis points. And I would hope that the others will be at 75 basis points or at least 50 basis points. You will continue to see a rise in interest rates.
No!
So, does this mean that you should get into a home right now? Does this mean that? Are you capable of getting a home right now at 7 to 8%? Are you ready for that?
I beg your pardon, bruh. Did I hear you say that? I hope something was wrong with my ears.
If you are not ready for that, guys, if you cannot hold that, right? If that is too much pressure, if that's going to take you to the top of the top of the top, please wait on the sidelines and rent and wait till this is all over or this washes over. But hey, if you have to buy a home right now, do what you do. Make sure you just do your research. Make sure that you look at as much information as you can to make the best decision possible. As you all guys always know, this is not a doom and gloom video. This is a video to help you understand the info that is out there, give you some details out there that you may not have seen. So once again, guys, I hope you got value out of this content. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn about this crazy housing market and jump into your first rental property. Also, check in the description below. I have some useful links for a free credit report and our membership program. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.